Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. It's always great to have you here, and it's great to have new people coming on in. Now, I'm going to get started on a collective. 12:31 on the clock. It is October the 7th. Okay. Won't be staying on for long. I got something to do at 2 p.m. So I may be back on after. Alright. These were the cards that I was going to take with me, but I realized I don't have to go anywhere today. Alright, but we're going to do some general messages. Love is going to come out. We may hear about career, etc. For sure, things tied to love is going to come out. That means family, friends, lovers, okay? Even people who you're releasing, cutting off, because a lot of times these people are stealing your energy for some reason. But they won't be for long if they're not meant to be there. So put some music on. Mariah the Scientist is gonna be significant. Loving is easy. This song is called Different Pages. So maybe you and a lot of people are just on different pages. No choice. Safe life. You are. See, some people, they started showing you their true colors. See, some things they couldn't continue to keep up with or continue to do. The mask eventually had fallen off. You had a few people who tried to come in this, who tried to present this. They tried to present themselves as loving, caring, romantic, thoughtful, but in actuality, that wasn't what it was. That wasn't the case. Welcome in. This is a collective. Okay. So yeah, I feel like some of these individuals weren't who you thought they were. Some of y'all weren't on the same pages, and I feel like you could be a witch. You could have occult interest, and you could be indulging in self-care, or you're encouraged to indulge in a bit of witches self-care, physical care, mental cleansing, emotional nurturing, and spiritual connection. Okay. Yeah. So I feel like there's no revenge except for personal milestones being achieved, like ascension. I'm trying to see what my card, this is kind of annoying me. Air energy could be significant. Ask yourself these questions. What is not benefiting my mind? How can I clear my thoughts? What do I need to know? Blocking situation or energy. And how to release my worries, okay? So we got the self-care coming out. We got the mental, mind, thoughts, intellect, energy coming out. So I feel like really nobody else matters. It's really just about you getting into a better energy after releasing people, withdrawing emotionally, moving forward in your life, recognizing that you and others are not on the same page. Some of you guys just need a big hug, okay? You just need a big hug. So hug yourself. It's going to be okay because a lot of you guys probably don't have the support. All right. Give this love to yourself. Turn those weaknesses into strengths. Remember, sometimes weaknesses could be a strength. All right, let's see what's going on with this deck. What is the message for the collective? Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team. All right. If you guys are wanting to get a message out of the collective, throat chakra is very significant. Make sure you are double tapping the screen. Sending gifts, anything to contribute to the live. Yeah, so there may be some lack of awareness going on your behalf or other people's behalf, and I feel like that's why you were encouraged to journey inward, to do some introspection. Because the path to enlightenment, it does start within you. The path of enlightenment starts within you. So if you're needing insight, take this opportunity to go inward, because I'm seeing that missed chances and unseen risk. I'm seeing missed chances and unseen risk. It says, seek facts and stay open-minded. Okay? The lack of awareness card came out with the journey inward card. That's why I set them together. But individually, the lack of awareness energy says, missed chances and unseen risk. Seek facts and stay open-minded. This card ties to insight and opportunity. And our journey inward card, it says the path to enlightenment starts within you. This is a card of introspection and growth. All right? These came out together. So I'm seeing some positive change going on, especially for those of you who are freeing yourselves and ascending. I'm seeing evolution here. Look, we got It's Coming. I'm glad that I picked up this deck, because at first we were going to get into all this type of love stuff and everything else within your relationships or whatever the case may be, but I'm really getting the energy that that's not important, because a lot of these people whose energy are going to be coming out in your reading are going to be people of the past who's still pulling on your energy, okay? Or it's going to, I feel like messages are mentioned for a reason, but I feel like a lot of times it is going based off your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, or at least that's how you're going to internalize something, because that's literally how you create your reality. So I feel like the energy of readings can shift. So I'd rather talk about things that are important. We're always talking about what's going on. You know what's going on in your love life. Okay, so that don't matter. We talking about self, because that's what's really, really important. So it is coming. Okay, love may come out, but right now we focused on this. It says hope is on the horizon. In the face of challenges, remember that nothing lasts forever. Trust that the universe has good things in store for you. Okay, so something is coming. I feel like as you continue to walk your path, it's going to reveal itself. So be mindful of stagnancy, okay? We got life is a gift. It is. I understand look how beautiful these cards are. Life could be really, really beautiful. Sometimes we don't see how beautiful it is because we be so caught up in our own problems and issues going on in the 3D plane. But you forgot you were also a spiritual being on a 3D plane. You got to balance out the spirituality and the practicality of things, because life is truly a gift. It's just sometimes you're stressed, you're depressed, but you can get yourself out of these energies. Give yourself enlightenment. The list goes on. I do life coaching sessions, mentorships, etc. And we can go all in depth about all of these things. But right now on live, we just going to stick to the reading, okay? It says life is unfolding for you. So seize the day and make the most of every chance to be true to yourself and live life to the fullest. To the fullest. It's time to cut out all the noise. Exactly. It's time to live the life that you've been dreaming that you'll come into 20 years from now, 10 years from now. Like, have that life right now. What is it that you can do to bring yourself into these spaces? First, it starts within, and then everything else can materialize or manifest into your external reality. All right, I'm seeing inner strength. Either it's going to take inner strength or you're going to gain inner strength, okay? Or maybe you're already, this inner strength is already activated. So it says, don't lose yourself in things you can't change. Focus on the things you can change, such as your attitude, mindset, and energy. You've got everything you need. So the magician energy is very significant because it talks about having all the tools and resources that you need within, but also outside of you. All right. Connect with nature. Some of you guys could be earth signs, or you could have earth placements. You're very connected to the spiritual realm and earth or nature. Look, we got self-sabotage. That's what I'm saying. You can self-sabotage on this journey. You can come into life on the earthly plane and not enjoy it as much, not live the life that you were meant to live since day one. So remember, of self-sabotage, you can have any and everything that you want in this world. Whatever dreams you have, it can come into fruition. And remember that the impossible is very much possible. All right, you can't forget about magic. You can't forget about the God that you believe in. Okay, so it says procrastination, negative self-talk, and fear of failure undermine your success. These are all forms of self-sabotage. All right, so you could be overcoming self-sabotage. You could be being resilient. But some of you guys, you could be procrastinating. There could be some negative self-talk going on, and there could be some fear of failure going on. So be mindful that this is self-sabotage along with other things. Okay. If you cannot see the video, maybe try going into another live or exiting out of TikTok and coming back on. Okay, we got defensive. And I can't really see what this says at the top because these cards are water damaged. But this is fire here, you see. These are really beautiful cards. Don't forget, you guys, make sure you are double tapping the screen or sending in gifts so I can pick up more on your energy. Simply because of an energy exchange as well. This does take energy out of the person who is doing it. So to keep the messages flowing and picking up on your energy, please make sure you are double tapping, sending gifts, anything that's contributing to the live. I do appreciate the gifts, the likes. All right. If you find a message out here for yourself, make sure you only take what resonates, and to not forget to give me a follow because you may never see my face again. All right. Thanks so much for the gifts. Thanks so much. All right. So it says, don't sink into hopelessness and despair, for in your lives. Okay, I think this is a typo, so I'm gonna read it again. Don't sink into hopelessness and despair, for in you lives a spark of life that is undefeated and unbeatable. You can overcome everything your destiny depends upon. I don't know if that's what it's meant to say, because originally what it does say, that it seems like a typo, but I'm going to read it how it's printed out on the card. It says, don't sink into hopelessness and despair, for in your lives a spark of life, or for in your lives a spark of life. You feel me? It's most definitely a typo somewhere. So the first way I read it is kind of what I think it's trying to, it's probably not trying to say that, but we're going to leave it at that. And don't worry, this message will be uploaded to my YouTube, so you can always go back to it. All right. We have defensive on the back of the deck. Shields. Yeah. Primordial times. All right. It says, this is a card of reflection, acceptance, and growth. See, growth came out twice. Okay. Now it says unseen resistance to unresolved issues. Explore with curiosity. So you possibly don't realize that you're resisting something. And I feel like this resistance is based on unresolved issues. So make sure you're doing that inner child healing and that shadow work so that you can bring things to light. Because sometimes you're walking around on the earthly plane unconscious. Sometimes we think we're conscious. All right, butterflies, birds, clouds, or being outside. So therefore the trees, the clouds, the this, the that is all significant. Okay, fire. Even like a campfire, or I don't want to say campfire, but like a fire, you know. Fairies, light workers, or light beings, like fireflies and stuff like that. Whether you see it on a movie, whether you've seen it in your past, whether it's been significant to you in your life, whether it's in person, in real life, whatever it may be. Okay, take it how it resonates. Energetic pull. Maybe you're being pulled towards something. Maybe you have this very magnetic energy about you, but I'm seeing energetic pull. It says, a true master knows that you create through your actions. Do not hesitate when you feel the energy pulling you. Follow it fearlessly and move worlds. You see how I have had the music on, and with the music on, it was going towards a love and relationships type of vibe. And then when we realized that this message was mainly supposed to be about the collective rather than any and everyone else, the music not even on anymore. Like, what happened to the music? What, like, the music is literally nowhere to be found. So your confirmation that all of that, this is a time for self, and this is a time to focus on self and self-growth, self-love, self-awareness, or awareness overall. It's time to journey inward. You see, it's talking about a lot of things tied to self. Look, even the witch's self-care energy that came out earlier, and things that are tying to your mind. So your health, mental, emotional, physical, etc. Very significant. All right, but with that positive change energy that I was talking about earlier, it says transform pain into strength and empower yourself. This is a card of ascend, evolution, and free. You're encouraged to do these things if you're not already stepping into this energy. Okay, on the back of that we have confront fears. Dolphins, whales. This is a whale, but dolphins, whales, and stuff like that could be significant. All right, it says the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Whether this cave is going in and doing that shadow work, or whether this cave is outside in your external reality, you just have to apply to how it fits for you. It won't possibly be the same for everyone, but metaphorically, literally, just apply it to how it fits. All right, this is a card of bravery, healing, and reclaim. It's time to reclaim your power. It's time to tilt your crown back into its upright position. You are healing, or you're either encouraged to do so, especially healing your fears. And one way that you can do that would just to be brave, because maybe then you will realize, oh, this wasn't as bad as I thought it would have been, or whatever. Because a lot of stuff could have stemmed down in your childhood, so the energy was much more potent, so fear was probably heightened, compared to if you were like a 56-year-old, a 40-year-old, a 30-year-old. Like, say if you never went through any type of trauma in your life and you're 30 years old, compared to going through something as a child. A child may feel extremely more scared than an adult would in a situation, right? So I feel like when you were younger, things probably traumatize you a little bit more than it possibly would have done an average adult, or whatever the case may be, especially if we're talking about, look, I don't have time to really explain what my mind is like thinking, but all right, we got on the back, shine bright. It's never a mistake to give of yourself. Some will take it for granted. Others may take advantage of it. Do not allow bad energies to overpower your light. All right, so don't let one bad apple spoil it for the rest. Keep being your loving, nurturing, friendly, extroverted self, okay? Some of you guys may have trust wounds. Some of you guys may have become an introvert from an extrovert. But like I said, don't allow the things that you went through in life and the people to change you, especially for the worst. And the worst can literally be you no longer being who you used to be before experiencing certain things. So that happy little child who's no longer a happy adult, that needs to be dealt with. The introverted, lost individual who was always confident and extroverted, like, what I'm saying? It's like, just be mindful of that. Yeah, because some of you guys, you're operating from a space of defensiveness. All right. Yeah, that name Amber is significant. Pause. All right, we got shadow dance. Some of you guys could literally dance dancing and smiling, even if you have no reason to smile, which there's always plenty of reasons to smile and be happy, and like, make sure you practice gratitude. But dancing, all of these things can be releasing rituals. Okay, so it says shadow dance. When you move shadows, you discover your rhythm. Love that, because in actuality, you're integrating your shadows or loving your shadows. And in the midst of doing this, life is going to change for you drastically overnight, is what I'm getting. But sometimes things do take patience. Sometimes you don't see the results to your progress, but eventually you will. All right. This ties to fluidity, movement, and open. All right, so do those shadow work. Do that shadow work. Then next thing you know, you'll probably be out popping out in the world, expressing yourself without worrying about the things that don't matter. Like, oh, what are people thinking of me? Or, oh, if I was to do this, will I embarrass myself? Like, that don't matter. Just like how you didn't know that would happen before, whenever you went after something and got embarrassed, you didn't know that you were going to be embarrassed. So if you knew you were going to be embarrassed, you probably would have done it. Okay, but you have to remember, you're also a human being, right? Spiritual being in a human body. So you have to remember, sometimes you're gonna trip and fall, sometimes you're gonna do this and do that, but it's no need to be embarrassed. It happens to the best of us. Look, and then it says no pressure. 10, I'm seeing angel number 10, and now I'm seeing angel number 9. 10 ties to endings, 9 is tied to completion, and 11, it usually looks like a path, right? Like a door. So you're completing things, you're ending things, and this is, those closed doors are showing you the new doors that have been opened or unlocked for some time now. It was just about you being aware or realizing it. All right, it says, when you want more, don't push yourself or others to get more. Give more of your pure, genuine self, and life will immediately and effortlessly match it. Remember, we were just talking about this when it came to, like, the shadow dance, saying when you move shadows, you discover your rhythm. That's basically, this energy was basically like what I was basically getting at. So confirmation. All right, we got hidden desires here. Your deepest desires hold the seed of your potential. Love that. See, imagine if you really love doing music to the point to where you finally performed and you finally were consistent. Now all of a sudden, you are very fulfilled in life, more than when you weren't indulging in your passions or your hidden desires or whatever the case may be. So live, love, enjoy, be happy. That should be the main task or the main rule in life. So look, the instant manifestation. I'm telling you, you shift into these energies, you're gonna see a whole lot of change within and externally. But it takes work. And some of you guys, you're continuing to get older and older and older, and your memory, you probably don't remember all the. So whenever you experience something, you need to tackle it head on. Don't try to wait a day later, 2 days. Right when something happens, you tend to yourself in that moment. You tend to your inner child in that moment. Okay, you tend to yourself in that moment. You care for yourself in those moments, right? Similar, like how you would do a child, your friend, your family member, because you're a nurturing, caring individual. So give all of that love and everything else to yourself. The love and everything else that you want from everybody else, I don't feel like you'll be accessible to it if you still carry certain energies within, because carrying certain energies within will leave you in a space to settle. It will leave you in a space to sabotage. It will leave you in a space to, all of those things. So that's why it's important to do the work. That's probably why some people say you can't love anybody else until you loved yourself. Not necessarily meaning, oh, you just, in a literal way, but I feel like more figuratively. For some people may feel like it's literal. But remember, these are all beliefs. And beliefs are not something that you know to be true. You just believe in it. So what we like to do is connect with our knowing, things that we do know to be true, which will 9 times happen based on your own experience and awakenings and everything else. So Trust in yourself, trust in your own information, follow the inner compass, and don't forget that you do have a spiritual team that are working with you and not against you. Although you may not be able to see them for some or hear them for some, but they are there. All right. So maybe building a network, connecting with them more to help you feel more connected to them can help. Just make it make sense. You're in this world. Make it make sense. Okay? Do things that are good for you. All right? This card, it says without agenda. You see the couple. I feel like you're literally going to meet someone and y'all are literally going to be on the same page. Remember how we talked about you and other people? You were very much on different pages, therefore possibly go down different paths. You're going to, as you're continuing to go down this journey alone, pretty much for some of you guys, but never really alone, right? Nature is there, your spiritual team, the elements, like all of this. Even you got to start looking at you as, you know, a support system. Like, oh, I still have myself. Thank you. Okay, I'm still me. I'm still able to love. I'm still able to be my, you know, all of these things. I still have my hands and my feet and my, you know, sometimes we don't appreciate the things that, like, I'm telling you right now, if you get fluid in your leg and your feet swell up, you ain't gonna be able to walk no more. Anybody can get fluid, all right? So you don't have to be old. You don't have to be too young. You don't have to, it's for anybody, all right? So it's like, take things, like, be more grateful for things. Sometimes it's easier said than done until you literally experience something being taken away from you or hindered, or whatever the case may be. So, without agenda, all right? Pure love and everything you have dreamed will happen when you are ready to give love without expecting anything in return. True givers receive. And a lot of you guys, when we want a lover, right, we want them to make us feel loved, all this other stuff. So you're always seeking something from the next person. So I feel like this is like a more deeper message, because anybody can have love. You choose who you love. So as long as you say, if somebody asks you out and you agree, boom, y'all go together, right? But to actually attract soul connections, everlasting love, I feel like you also have to be in a certain heart space and spiritual sense, maybe, to really connect with a person that can reciprocate, right? So when it comes to love, don't expect, or don't just want love because you want somebody there with you to help you in life or to support you or to be there for you. Like, you need to do all of those things for yourself. That's all the things that you're supposed to do for yourself. That's like vice versa, somebody saying that they want you to come in and support them and love them. You see how it sounds now when you switch it around? Now it just sounds like somebody wants something from you. So I feel like that's kind of what this energy is saying. Mind you, a human being wrote this. They typed this on up. But I feel like we all have power within us and we're all connected to God. So if you resonate with this, take it how it resonates. If not, leave the message for someone else, or just look at it from a way that could possibly resonate with you. Okay? But don't be too closed off to where you feel like something is not for you and it possibly could be. Okay. Alright, you guys, my nose is starting to do that itchy stuff. I hate when that happens. Every time I get to channeling, my nose always itches. Like right here. So a lot of times this can tie to like nosiness. People all up in your business. Okay, so some of you guys, you most definitely could have people all in your business while you're really just focusing on you. Some people probably think you mad at them, you hate them the whole time. You could never hate anyone, even the person who made you the saddest in life or the angriest in life. Like, you know. So yeah, it says having hope. Navigate your shadows with compassion and gentleness. All right, this is a card of grace, kindness, and self-care. I told you this is that path that you guys are on right now. So it's time to get serious, and it's time to do that work that you need to do. Because be mindful, if you don't do it, you're always still going to have to do it, and you're not gonna really come into your truest self because you're still operating from a space of trauma and everything else, because those wounds haven't been dealt with. Like, you can't just expect time to heal everything for you. It's really just gonna numb the pain, right? So time, yes, time heals all wounds, but at the same time, you have to also put in your own action. Just like if you want a certain career, like, think of your current self versus who you were before you possibly were spiritual and believed in manifestation. Around this time, you probably believed in realism, practicality, like actually the use of doing something instead of wishing upon a star or whatever the case may be. Even some of you guys used to believe that you can make a wish on a star. That's not the point I'm making, okay? But go back to those times. If you remember, you were most definitely putting in the work to get you to where you wanted to be. If you want to go to school, you'll put yourself in school. You wouldn't hope and wish to be in school, you'll put yourself in school, right? So some things, it does take a practical approach. By all means, you can balance it out with spirituality. But don't forget, action will help you come into what you really want. We got heart path and don't hide. Self-compassion, wounded healer. I feel like that's how some of you guys became this healer and everything else, because I mean, you were somebody who was wounded before, and I'm sure you were a person that learned how to be more compassionate or self-compassionate, or you just came into this energy of being very empathetic and nurturing and possibly humanitarian, you know, so it just works, right? But I feel like the divine feminine and the divine masculine, wow, some of you guys are going to come into a powerful union, and it's going to be very healing. I feel like you guys are not, like, you're going to show up in a good energy, right? That's how you're going to be able to attract this person. But I feel like that's like a soul thing. That's just who you are deep down inside. But so far as the necessary work that needs to be done, like the shadows that are still there, I feel like some of you guys are possibly still going to have certain shadows. Take it only how it resonates. Some of you guys, you probably won't, whatever, okay? But some of you guys, you're still going to, but I feel like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Or if this is not shadows, this is just that, like, transformation phase, that death and rebirth energy that you guys are going to still be experiencing. And I feel like when you come into union, even through the darkness, you're going to see each other for real. You're going to see each other, and it's not just going to be a physical attraction or all this three-plane sexist shit. It's going to be deep. It's going to be deep. Okay? Heart path. It's not worth pursuing a path without passion. This road will only lead you to uncertainty and frustration. Follow your heart and you can't go wrong. Love that, all right? We got don't hide. Dare to dream big. Ooh, look at this beautiful. You can't really see how beautiful it looks on camera than in person, but it says, dare to dream big. Remind yourself that everything is possible. Don't hide your talents and abilities, but use them to build your world. All right? Period. That's what you meant to be here for, honey. I know people be trying to tell you, oh, you here to save lives and change the world. Yeah, that's cool, possibly, but it's also not something that just ties to self, because how are you going to tell the collective that they came here just to serve other people? That takes away from them being their own person and their own self, energy. By all means, if you still feel like you're here to serve the world and all this stuff, you can feel that way. But at the end of the day, don't forget that this is your life and you're here for you, okay? Now, everything else can come into play after you'd intended to yourself, because naturally I feel like you guys are helpers. Like, I just feel like that's naturally who you are. You're givers and everything. So of course that's naturally gonna going to still manifest in your life. But first, tend to yourself, tend to yourself. All right, we got blue and red, opposite energies. So maybe, yeah, you and this person, you're going to be opposites. Opposites attract, but you're going to be very similar at the same time. Do not confuse intention with entitlement. The entitlement to demand from the world leaves you with nothing. The world is rich, and so are you. So just like how they saying, don't confuse it with the world, you are also something that's very beautiful, and you're a gem. So don't allow people to have, like, to feel entitled over your energy. All right? Live with intention, live with purpose. Live with intent, live with purpose. All right, with the self-compassion energy, it says embracing imperfections help you find strength. Siblings, sisters could be significant. All right, divine masculine, divine feminine. Some of you guys, there's still some anger going on. Maybe anger tied to your love life, whether it's with your siblings, your people close to you, the ex-lovers, whatever it is, current boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever. All right. It says, embracing imperfections helps you find strength. This is a card of growth mindset and resilience. Okay, it's giving higher perspective, amongst other things. All right, now with the wounded healer energy. Yeah, I love that. Embracing imperfections help you find strength. You're perfect. You're perfect. I know people like to tell you that you're not perfect, but you're perfect, okay? Now it says, wounded healer. The wound is the place where light enters you. This card ties to empathy, healing, and purpose. And now I'm getting this energy that some of you guys are probably, you have a certain heart space that you have because of the wounds that you've gathered, right? Like, if you would have never got bullied, if you would have never got cheated on, if you would have never seen other people get, whatever it is, or I mainly feel like it's things that happen to you first. I feel like that's why you, I don't know, like that's also like an energy that I was getting when I read this. That's how you have healing powers or empathy or now this purpose that you may have created. Okay, you see, so purpose, it doesn't have to be in this way that's like, I demand you, when you come to earth, you live in your purpose and you serve the world. Like, no, it's more like this is your purpose because you're the best to do it. You know, that's like a janitor doing janitor work, not a janitor doing astronaut work. It doesn't align. So I feel like you're a healer because it just makes sense. It just makes sense, right? And I feel like the things that you went through is how you're able to be this version of yourself, okay? But something is coming, okay? Something is coming. Now, when it comes to anger, it says your expectations are not met, creating frustration. Express it in a healthy way, right? Like competitive games or screaming in a pillow, going to a rage room, anything like this. Nothing that's gonna be negative self-talk or dishing out trauma into the world, right? So something that's, you know, because anger, of course, you have that emotion, like sadness, anger, it's fine. But don't sit in it too long, and make sure you have positive coping mechanisms. And I don't really want to say coping because it seems like you're just coping. But I mean, yeah, it's possibly coping mechanisms to help you be able to cope with how you're feeling. All right. So it says, this is a card of release, growth, and balance. All right, you see how they're arm wrestling? And I like that because arm wrestling, it could be something that's competitive, but nothing to really make you even more upset. Because I know when I be doing arm wrestling, and say if I like lose or something, I don't recall losing, but say if I lose or something, I don't ever recall getting even more mad. I just recall being like, damn, you know, or something like that. But you know how some games you can get like, some people, especially if they're a sore loser, they get really mad. So maybe for those individuals, maybe express your anger differently. Okay, not competitive games, but yeah, there's some anger. There's some anger. And maybe there's people who have anger towards you. And this just goes to say that nothing is personal. People all have their different things that they're experiencing, that they're going through. A lot of people probably didn't have the love that they needed as a child, the attention, the nurturing, the safety, whatever. It's not our jobs to dim our light or to walk on eggshells with everybody else, but it's their job to heal and do the work that's necessary, just like it's our job to do our own work and everything else. So, don't beat yourself up about anything. Don't beat other people up about anything. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. All right, we got spirit awakening. Your spirit is awakening. It says, sit with your shadows. It's the way to enlightenment. Some of you guys doing this shadow work is going to help you have an awakening. All right, this is a card of intuition and spirituality. This is also going to help you come into peace. All right, now with the shame and gift and guilt card, not shame and gift. Now that can be internalized or said in many, many ways. Shame and gift. All right, but this is the card of shame and guilt. It says, feel them without judgment. Mistakes do not define your worth. This ties to compassion and acceptance. So you can feel shame and guilt without judgment. Remember that mistakes do not define your worth. All right? Show compassion and acceptance. And remember, you guys, we can't go back in time in the past, and we're not living in the future. The time is always the present moment. That's why some people say time is an illusion. So just keep that in mind as well. Make the most of your time on this 3D plane, because then you're going to look back like, damn, time went by so quickly. Okay? So, you can ask people who were here before you and ask them for their story time, and they'll tell you, they'll be honest. Because a lot of people, they just see themselves as old and fragile, and next for them is death. That's how a lot of people view themselves. So trust me, they have nothing to lose, and they don't mind giving you their truth, telling their story, whatever the case may be. Some of them, they may still have on false masks, but that ain't the point of the message, okay? All right, look, have courage. That's what I'm saying. That's what this energy is constantly talking about. All right, it says stop hiding. Show up and let yourself be seen. All right, this ties to vulnerability, growth, and fear. Growth came out 3 times. Angel number 3, very significant. 333, 311, 33. Okay, whatever. So, like, get out of your head, get up, and go show the world what you're made of. Not because you seek outside validation or you're just arrogant and want to, like, do all this stuff. But no, you're not proving anything to anybody but yourself. And you don't even have to prove it to yourself, but I'm just saying, stop hiding. I don't know what fear or paranoia or what this is going on, but it's most definitely going to hold you back for years for a lot of you guys, because this is something that's very deep and embedded, okay? And it can really shift up a lot of things in your life, but in a negative way, though. Like, you literally, it says inner balance, all right? It says what you resist persists. What you accept transforms, period, okay? This is a card of wholeness and duality. On the back, we got light the darkness. Darkness cannot dispel darkness. Only light can. This is a card of love, clarity, and awareness. If you guys want to get this deck for yourself, it's called the Shadow Work Oracle cards. The ones that look like this. And then if you want to get the other deck, it's called the Mystic Forest Oracle cards. All right, the cards that look like this. And we're going to read this one. It ties to let go. Let go of negative people and toxic beliefs. Your time on earth is precious. Invest it wisely and be mindful of who you spend time with. All right, just ask yourself this: if you're around somebody, do I want to pick up on their habits? Are they doing anything with their life for real? Because you want to be around people who are constantly growing and everything else. Because like I said, energy is contagious. If you be around a bunch of people who are lazy, etc., you may not do much. Okay, especially if you don't have your own inner will and drive and everything. All right, and don't let me get started on the negative Nancy's, okay, or anybody who brings your energy down in a certain space. Break chains. It makes me think of breaking generational curses, ancestral patterns, bondage, etc. Okay, so break those chains. It says the only way to overcome blocks is to confront them. Okay, not going day by day, not reflecting on something, recognizing something, just, so the only way to overcome blocks is to confront them. This ties to self-limiting beliefs. Yeah, see, some of y'all, the battle is not on the outside world, it's really within. All right, so it says battle within. The greatest war you wage is against yourself. Wow. It says inner conflict and resolution. All right, and then we have face inner demons. You see how they're coming back to back, resonating with each other? All right, it says don't be afraid of darkness. There's a light nearby. We got transform, integrate. And then we have mental contest. Strength isn't from winning. Struggles define strengths. Love that. This talks about control, power, and repress. This reminds me of the chariot energy, which ties to the inner, the will and the drive and the determination to venture forward with decisiveness and possibly force for a lot of you guys, but it can be metaphorically with force. It don't have to be literally with force. It can be most definitely just letting someone know, oh, they gone. They boom, boom, bam. Okay. All right. That's pretty much what I'm seeing with that. Let's see what messages want to come out in this deck. Of course, it's going to tie to something talking about love. This is a deck that I personally created. All right. Let's see. Any more messages for the collective? All right. Look. Water energy. Or water signs, Scorpio, Cancer, and/or Pisces. This is the Ace of Cups in tarot. On here, in regular playing cards, which tarot was inspired by playing cards, the Ace of Hearts. Once again, it's the Ace of Cups in tarot. So it ties to new beginnings in love, emotions, and relationships. It ties to an outpouring, an abundant energy of emotions or love. Okay? So some of you guys could be in your feels, or other people could be in their feels towards you. I'm seeing a lot of water. So it could be tears, a lot of emotions. Or this, like I said earlier, it can be new friendships, new romantic connections, new anything in the terms of love, emotions, and relationships. Okay? Remember we was talking about that lazy energy. Some of you guys could be feeling a little lazy. Maybe there's something you need to release or let go. Maybe some of you guys, it's time to get out of this lazy energy. It's crazy because this doesn't even belong in this deck. Like, you see, they don't even, this is way too big. This don't belong here. This belongs in my Uno deck that I also made. Look, it says, cannot be trusted. Let go, release. Take that how you will, honey. Take that how you will. Okay, we got karaoke, throat chakra. All right, we got true love exists with this person. So remember we was talking about the new love, etc. So be patient. Be patient. All right, when it comes to people coming into your life, try to just be friends. Okay, try not to get your heart involved romantically. Try not to become too attached. So practice the law of detachment. Just be really self-focused. All right. Maybe some people wants to be your partner, but you're not really focused on that right now. All right, but I'm seeing that better is on the way, especially because you've been mistreated in life. Okay, better is on the way, and whoever these individuals are, they respect you. So some of y'all, these people could know of you already, but you probably don't even know them. Maybe if you're someone who makes videos or something, that's how that could come about. Or maybe if you're known or whatever the case may be, but somebody can already have their eye on you, whether it's platonic or romantic, and they respect you for sure, whether they met you in person or not. But for a lot of you guys, you were done horribly, right, in the past by a few people. And remember what we talked about earlier, not taking things personal. Don't beat other people up about things. Don't beat yourself up about things. And by all means, I'm not validating anything or telling you, hey, just be nice to them. But what I'm saying is inner peace and self-love is the best love. Inner peace is key, and self-love is the best love. Now, with all this lack of forgiveness or still hurt from something and how someone this is not the path of inner peace. So whatever you need to tackle, tackle it. By all means, your feelings are valid. Take as much time as you need. All right. Hey, look, one, the ace usually ties to the number 1, and this is the number 10. This collective could be seeing angel numbers 1 and 10, or it could be together 110, 101, whatever the case may be. All right. KK, the initials KK or something like that could be significant. J, or the name JJ and KK could be significant. But yeah, you guys, after all this mistreatment and stuff that was going on within your friend dynamics, family dynamics, lover dynamics, I'm seeing that you are purging, releasing, healing, nurturing yourself, or encouraged to do so. All right, there's a lot of releasing and letting go going on, possibly because the full moon is active, or you're being encouraged to do a lot of releasing and letting go, not just towards things that are outside of yourself, but even things that are within, like negative mindsets or negative self-talk, whatever it may be. Some of you guys, it ties to people, places, whatever the case may be. All right. And I feel like in the midst of doing this, as you're going down this individual path, you're facing your demons, you're healing, you're doing the shadow work, the inner child healing, you're going to come into new and healthier relationships with people who respect you and who actually can give and receive love. All right. These people are going to be trustworthy. I understand you had some people who was cheaters and liars and deceivers. These connections is not going to be nothing like the ones that you've experienced before. Okay? So don't even have any remorse. There are going to be people who want you back in their life, but you're going to have to stand 10 toes down on what's best for you. Because I feel like you've always had a good heart, and I feel like you don't really like to release people or abandon people. It's not really abandoning though, because doing the opposite would be abandoning yourself. Not it has nothing to do with abandoning people, because you've already given people the benefit of the doubt, which you did not have to do. That means you gave them more time. So low vibrational is low vibrational, whether it's friends, family. Yeah, it sucks, but with you, look, this path chose you. Okay, this path chose you to be on this spiritual path or whatever the case may be. Once you awaken, you can't go back blind. So at this point, it's either choose everybody else like you've been doing and people pleasing, or finally come into the life that you were meant to live and finally be at peace and create the love life, etc. that you want. Career, finance, all of that is connected. But first, it takes the inner work, because the world on the inside is a reflection of the world on the outside. So you first got to make sure you good within, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Okay? Therefore, you won't bump your head again with low vibrational relationships or people. You will set firmer boundaries. You'll permanently kick people to the curb. For a lot of you guys, angel number 66 is here. So yeah, some of these people are the kings and queens of low vibrational and low vibrations. So in actuality, this is just all a part of doing things that are best for you. So I feel like this is a necessary step. All right, one of the necessary steps. Because I'm not seeing that certain people will change. I'm seeing that they'll continue to be in a certain energy. A lot of times people only change when you're no longer around. And by the time you're no longer around, eventually you're going to fall out of love with people, move on, whatever the case may be. So it does get easier for those of you who are stuck on an ex, or an ex won't let go and they're constantly pulling. The sun always comes out to shine again. It does not rain forever. For now, just focus on you. Don't be worried about everybody else. Remember, that was the main energy that I was picking up on when I was doing the reading. It was given, we not worried about everybody else. We got to do stuff for the collective. So I understand you're really nice. You have a lot of love to give. You're very sweet. But don't forget why you cut people off. An ex is an ex for a reason. And trust me, I feel like when you cut people off, it's most definitely necessary, because you can get along with any and everybody. I'm sure you welcome in everybody. You know, you're a friendly individual. So if you have to cut people off, I do feel like it's necessary and it's for a reason. Don't self-sabotage. Don't create self-delusion. And don't even have pity for certain people. Like, literally. Like, I understand you're very nice. So sometimes y'all can literally start having pity for people. But that's what's going to get you caught back up into reconciling with people. You already did the reconciliation. It didn't work. Okay? Now, it says, all right, it says, you are the effing prize. I am not lying to you. Do them positive affirmations. Look in the mirror and say, you are the prize. I love you. Or you can say, I love me. You can say them all in, you know, first person, whatever. But you're also going to attract people who are going to give you your flowers. And they're not going to just be trying to juice, like, to create this big head for you or juice it or whatever. No, literally what they're saying is going to be true. All right? And it's not going to, they're not going to say it just because they want to get a compliment back or be fake nice. Like, this is going to be, like, real. All right? It says, she or he not like you. She's not like you. He not like you. Your superpower is that nobody else in this world is like you. You can't think the same thoughts. Like, and when I say think the same thoughts, I mean really deep. Like, deep. The way you, like, perceive things and everything else. Well, anybody can perceive things in, like, in a certain way, especially due to trauma or whatever. But just take it how it resonates, honey. I don't got time. All right. It says, well, I got time, but it says, when you are in pain, so am I. See, this is going to be people who actually care about you, to the point to where if your day is messed up, it's going to possibly interfere with their own day. Not because they're attached or unhealthily attached, but just because they care so much about you and how you feel. And if you're not feeling good, that doesn't really make them feel good, you know? So they're probably going to I don't want to say feel uncomfortable, but yeah. It says, you can trust me, I won't hurt you. This is going to be people who you can trust, people who won't hurt you. And I know you probably heard different things many times before from other people, but this is just going to be a very different person. See, they're going to show you. You're going to know. See, these other people you probably was confused about and you got bamboozled. But this, you going to know that this is the real deal. See, that's probably why some of you guys have to be in a certain energy, just so you can really know. Because this don't have nothing to do with the naked eye, but the third eye and that open heart chakra. All right? It says, I am healing. I want us to work. So you probably got people from your past trying to heal and do some work because they wanted to work out. But like I said, sometimes that's just not promised. Like, people, they can do a bunch of this, but sometimes people, like, literally, like, who they are is who they are. They're not a kid anymore. They had time to grow into an adult. And sadly, that's just what they turned out to be. Okay? So it is always up to them to get into a better energy. But last time I checked, people who usually are in their adolescence, that's pretty much who they are. You know, some people, they change when they get to being like late 30s. But then again, some people don't even change and they be already by 80, right? So like I said, You've already given people the benefit of the doubt. Just because you feel like, oh, they're trying to heal, they're trying to do da-da-da, let me change my mind. Because, once again, there is better on the way. But this is your life. You can do whatever you want. But me, I ain't worried about nobody from the past, honey. I'm worried about whoever this damn new love is. But I ain't even worried too much about that. I'm really focused on myself. You feel me? But all these people from the past, I really don't care about it. Like, I already fell out of love. You really disgust me at this point. In a healthy way, though. So I don't become bitter or whatever. But it's just, I don't fuck with you like that no more. You know? Like, that's why I said some of you guys, you emotionally withdrawn and everything else. So it's not that you want to teach this person a lesson and da-da-da. Now, you dead ass don't fuck with them. Like, for some of you guys. Some of y'all, you probably still got love on the brain, whatever. But like I said, give yourself time. Eventually, this will go away. Literally, I thought I was going to be stuck on a motherfucker for years. Because I'm like, bro, why? Why? That's why people like y'all, you have to protect who you love and everything. Because people who don't know how to love, and you this friendly-ass person who want to love every damn body, they won't be able to reciprocate the energy. And some of you guys, you haven't mastered a certain level of something to the point to where you can become head over heels or all this other shit. That's why I feel like you're really meant to be in this individual space so that you can appreciate and love like who you are. I know when you hear self-love, it just go in and out the other ear sometimes, or it sounds very cliche. But when I say love, it's like to the point to where you can literally be by yourself and you won't call it alone. You'll really say it's at peace. You really feel at peace. You really, like, some of y'all probably made a mistake. Look, there go that 9-10. Some of y'all probably made the mistake to reconcile with people. Now you have this, this wound has opened back up to where now you feel lonely, or now you get attached, and now you connect with things that you know is not good for you, right? So when you are progressing, try not to go backwards, because that's you being able to fall back into that trap of temptation and this and that. So now we got to put a halt in the journey and go backwards and start all over again. So I speak off wisdom, and wisdom comes from experience, right? So I speak off wisdom and experience. Oh God. When you are in abstinence, don't get out of abstinence. I don't care if it's substances. I don't care if it's food. If you a vegan, stay a vegan, okay? Don't go back into the meats. Don't become pescatarian. If you're going to do something, stand on it and do it, because the more time that you go without something, I'm telling you. So keep going without. You already made it a day out, period. 2 days out, period. A week, you doing good. Keep going, all right? Eventually, it's going to get to a month, 5 months, a year, 10 years. And you're going to thank yourself, okay? You're going to thank yourself. So, look, it says, you're the best. I love you unconditionally. Period. I'm telling you, you're gonna have relationships that are very deep. All right, questions are gonna be asked. You're gonna be getting closer to individuals. I'm just seeing a deepened connection. Love that for you. All right, 1 second, y'all. My stomach. And my nose, honey, like, I can't, who else has this problem? Because I just hate it. Like, I couldn't, like, itch somewhere else. It had to be my nose. Like, I meant to say scratch, but any more messages for the collective? Yeah, the Joker could be significant, or these people are just a bunch of jokers. Like, threes are really significant. Look, more threes. Some of you guys could have specific numbers. So maybe somebody's specific number could be 3. A specific number of mine is 18. Like, when I did this when I use this deck right here, the Voice of the Souls Oracle, and I had scanned this QR thing so I could see the, like, what the cards mean. Sometimes you don't have to use it, but I actually like to use the guidebook if they have one. Because, you know, you also be getting other people's intel or whatever on a situation, especially if you're going through a dark night of the soul and it's necessary to hear something from other people. I don't want to say necessary, but look, I don't know. I'm trying to stop saying I don't know and like all this shit, because low-key, words can be spells for real. So I do know, okay? But you for sure bring light to people's darkness. When I say they never met a person like you, like, I'm literally not playing. Like, you think I'm playing? Like, I'm literally not playing. But this is somebody who possibly mistreated you. You have people who mistreated you who are trying to be nice, apologize, and all of this stuff. But then they mess around and do the same shit again. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it gotta go, bruh. So I already know why you're doing what you're doing. It just gotta go. You can't keep, like, you can love people, but from a distance. Like, a huge distance. Because this is just nothing but self-torture and shit, possibly even self-delusion. That's probably why they say a balance between things are necessary. Being too much in that heart space and not enough in that mindset, you know, or vice versa. So maybe the balance between all, very much necessary. Now, why did this burn like this? All right, y'all. Don Toliver is significant because all of a sudden I want to listen to his music, okay? She make it, because I had no idea. They had no idea. Because I had no idea. Feeling like I did too much. I need to drink some water. Don't forget, y'all, stay hydrated. Okay? Coconut water is preferred, but it has all of those minerals and all of the everything up in there. Your watermelon. But what I say? The Ace of, okay, look, Heartbreak, 3 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. See, some of y'all, you in your bag. You making your money independently. You doing all of this while heartbroken, though. And some of y'all, you don't have to still be there emotionally heartbroken, because some of y'all, no, it don't. It's not something that was as fresh as yesterday. So, over time, either you withdraw from the person and you still was hurt by the situation. You could have emotionally withdrawn from the person, but was still hurt by a situation. It still will bring you tears today. Maybe it could have been you grieving the loss of someone from the 3D plane. Literally or metaphorically. Like maybe someone passed away, or maybe someone is just, you're just grieving the relationship. Like you guys are no longer together. They're still alive, but you know. Y'all getting it done, though. He said putting on mileage. Y'all getting it done. I feel like with this no contact shit, you own it. For some of y'all, for others of y'all, you just on your stuff. You getting your life together. You getting yourself in order. You getting your finances, and you just getting things into order. And you cutting off things that don't feel good, that don't align for real. And that's why some of these people respect you for sure. They may not like you, but they see you as trustworthy, and they see that they've mistreated you. These people could have lied to you before, and maybe they've turned over a new leaf, and now they not lying no more. People gonna always, it's crazy how they try to change temporarily at that when you leave, but not before you ever met them and everything else. Because you would think that a person is similar to you. Shit, at least that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking, oh, cheating don't exist to me, so I'm thinking that shit just don't exist. And I don't know, maybe it was the trauma of people with negative viewpoints. So they kind of teach you to feel insecure about something or bad that something happened, right? I had thought about that before, and I was like, maybe that would have never broken my heart that much as well if people didn't just take every goddamn thing so personal, and everything else that you just start learning now when you come into like spirituality or something. It's like, bruh, it's a whole lot of pointing the finger, but when you look at other people, because I remember even when I was in a deeper aspect of what I thought spirituality was, it's like, damn, I kind of forgot what the hell I was trying to say. Like when that be happening, man, I'd be like, damn, like. So remember we did talk about that air energy though. So for sure, you guys, the mental is very significant. Self-care and your mental. I feel like emotionally you withdrawing and detaching, and you probably attracting deeper, healthier, more aligned connections, and walking away from those that are not of that due to obvious reasons and understandable reasons. Like, and even if I didn't understand, who give a damn? You understand. It's your life. Confirmation that other people may not understand or get it for real, but they don't have to. Don't let that discourage you or be projected upon you to where you start doing something differently. And when I say differently, I mean more in a way of what they would do or others would do. Sometimes you just gotta trust. Not everybody tried that yet because they fear that for some reason. Because they always try to paint it in a bad picture when it clearly don't even sound bad. But people are still blind for some reason. That's why they probably call things a cult or something. Bro, this man said treat her panties like a rover, I pull him over. I'm not about to play. Oh my goodness. Look, so temptation. Because going to other senses when it comes to that type of stuff. It's talking about sex and all of this stuff. So maybe just somebody who wanna get sexual. Maybe it's someone who you've been sexual with. Like, I'm not trying to be in your business. I don't want to. Welcome in, Miss Lady. I know they didn't put on this song. This song is so... Sorry, you guys. Have to fix my shirt. I usually would try to do that in private, but I think I had did that recently on live already, so... She Will by Lil Wayne. One second, y'all. Okay. I'm a little chilly. Little chilly. Well, at first I wasn't, but then I had thought about turning off the fan. Next thing you know, I got cold. Right when I thought about turning it off, which, okay. I feel weedy. Okay, 1:46. Oh, I have to go in a second. Let me log on to this thing. Okay. I wonder if my face gotta be on now. See, I think I'm gonna sell this laptop because oh, it's lotion in here. Well, what is this? I have to log on to something really quick. Oh wait, it's gonna send me. Did it send me something yet? All right, let me see. One second, you guys. Why do it be saying it? Like, I figured it out earlier, but now I don't even remember how to figure it out again. At the moment. It's somewhere, but my brain like, look. Oh. See, and then it's making this noise. Like, why are you so loud? This school, it was giving out free laptops. And this is one of the free laptops. But you low-key have to go on, like, I think you have to do, like, 3 seminars. They're probably, like, like, an hour long. And I have to log on within, like, 15 minutes. A little bit under 15 minutes. I don't have to, but if I want to keep the laptop. And I'm like, I mean, it's free, so I keep it. But I probably, like, give it away or sell it because it's doing too much for me. It ain't doing enough, and it's doing too much at the same time. I'm like, I might as well use my other laptop that I had got. And I'm gonna get a school back day laptop. But it's saying this stuff that I don't even know why it's saying it because I can't even remember how I fixed it. Okay, yeah, it's somewhere on here. See, now it's not doing that noise anymore, and I like that. Because it's so like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why? Laptop? Answer. That's how some of y'all was viewing it, huh? Why? But they were supposed to send me a link. I can sign in through my phone, low-key. Which I don't want to do. This one was going to use that other. Yeah, let me use the other one. Girl, why you put this toy directly under? Bruh, she trying to get me, bruh. Alright, I'm gonna try to do that another time when I don't got a log on with it. Same amount of time. Alright. I know it's okay. I was gonna say, I know it's not about to be that. 151 on the clock. Yeah, I'm gonna get started on the collective. I'm just trying to see if I'm supposed to. Well, I'm gonna get back started on it. I'm just trying to see if I'm supposed to be like actively on it. Alright. Let me see. Jonesy, wait, girl. Wait, you literally see me do, you know what I'm doing. No, you have to wait. Now I'm moving extra slow. Jonesy, where your toy at? Go get your toy. Go get your toy. Oh, you already got it. Okay. Yo, it did it on that too. I'm about to. Go get it. Okay, so they should send me the email because they didn't even send me the email. Now I gotta log, try to remember how. Okay, I scanned this paper. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna probably just end the live. All right, and I'll probably set it back up because I low key. Let me see. Let me just try to do it with this phone. So this one be. Oh, I'm gonna take a picture. Yo, I gotta sign it again. accs.edu. Now I have to download it, bruh. Good luck. It's not like an actual, thank you, but it's not like an actual, and I don't got no storage. Okay, yeah. All right, you guys, I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye.